abandoned and bullied as a child to becoming one of Spider-Man's greatest foes. This is the story of Sandman. William Baker was born in Queens and abandoned by his father Floyd by the time he was 3 years old. Even at a young age, his mother knew he was special and had a knack for crafting, as she would take him to the Coney Island beaches where he would spend hours upon hours creating impressive sand sculptures. His teacher and first crush, Miss Flint, became a major player in his life as she always encouraged and pushed him to develop these crafting skills. The bullying began when he grew up and started school from a boy named Vic. It actually didn't take long for William to become observant and learn to fight by watching his opponent's motions and using it against them, slipping through their fingers like sand. Vic and his buddies were actually kind of impressed by how quickly he caught on and befriended him. In high school, William learned to channel all of his anger into sports. He became one of the star athletes and adopted the nickname Flint after his former teacher. This is where life really began heading south, though. His friend Vic turned to gambling and built up a large amount of debt to a mobster. Fearing for his life, he turned to Flint and begged him to fix a football game so he could pay off that debt. Flint agreed. And then his coach found out. And then he was kicked off the team. His coach was absolutely irate, taunting him, telling him that he would never accomplish anything in his life or make any mark on the world. So naturally, Flint introduced the coach's head to his helmet, obviously resulting in being expelled from the school and making the official move into a life of crime. This new life of crime quickly turned him into a violent, bitter man, but also careless. And that carelessness got him locked up in prison on Rikers Island. And that's where he was reunited with his father, Floyd, who abandoned him earlier. Now, he knew that this was his father, but his father had no idea this was his son. He would always use his fake name, Flint, and created the last name Marco, inspired by his coach's words telling him that he would never leave a mark in the world. So from that point on, William Baker officially became Flint Marco. Not long after this, his father Floyd was released from prison, and Flint made his valiant escape from the prison. He fled south to Savannah, Georgia, and hid out in an old experimental reactor covered in sand that had been irradiated. His body bonded with the sand and changed his molecular structure into sand. With the new name of Sandman, he made his way back to Queens, and that's where he had his first encounter with Spider-Man at Peter Parker's high school, where he was defeated by a vacuum cleaner. Now, Flint understood that with weapons like that, he didn't have much of a shot at defeating the web slinger. But what he could do was be a missing piece to a very sinister puzzle.